This may be hard to hear, but someone gotta say it. We've been focusing on all the wrong things when it comes to feminine grooming. Sure, we know all the basics. Take care of your hair, take care of your skin, make sure you have proper hygiene, make sure the hair looks good. But today I'm gonna share with you 11 micro feminine grooming habits when it comes to looking good and being more attractive. I'm sharing with you 11 subtle micro habits that most women overlook when it comes to feminine grooming. These aren't your typical beauty tips, and this is definitely gonna help you look more attractive and look way more polished. The first micro grooming habit is the glass skin edge test. A lot of people focus on skincare because obviously beautiful skin is gonna make you look way more polished and attractive. But a lot of people miss the edges, right? And so I learned this actually from an esthetician, and there are parts of your face that if they do not look smooth, it's gonna really highlight when you're taking pictures, and it's actually gonna create a shadow. You're gonna take your middle finger and you're gonna run it across your jaw like this. And if you feel that it's a little edgy or a little bumps, then you probably want to pay attention to this area when you are moisturizing a facial serum throughout the morning and evening. The other area you want to check is your temple here, right around your hairline. And for me, because I'm bald, it's very obvious when it's bumpy, okay? And then the only other place that you're going to want to check is the cheekbone. What you notice, those three areas that I just picked, when you take a picture and you're doing it on your good side, right? Notice that it's your jawline, your cheek, and your temple that kind of is showing the best part of your face. It's actually gonna make you look more illuminating, and it's almost like a natural highlight. You know when you do your bronzer and you highlight parts of your face? If you do this skin technique, it's also gonna be like a natural highlighter for you. See already my cheek, you see the highlight. These parts of your face naturally catch light and add more dimension. During the day, when you are putting on your oiling serum, make sure you highlight these areas. Make sure you actually take time to pat, not take time to pat and gently rub these areas throughout the day. If you need a facial mist, some people's skin is more dry, then also make sure to mist those areas and actually lightly pat. And then a bonus tip is if you use a gua sha, you can actually, again, these are areas in your face that you want to gua sha, and it's going to give you that. Tip number 2 is strategic perfume layering. So a lot of people use their perfume and they're like, oh, I'm gonna spray these areas here, which is great. But if you want to have a scent trail that is magnetic and people actually remember, you have to do strategic layering. And what this looks like is when you moisturize, right? You can also moisturize with a complementary perfume. This is the Hermes Twilly. Another popular one is the Bulgari, and they also have a complementary lotion. So you should moisturize your skin, right, with a moisturizing lotion. And then on the heat maps, right, this is where these are heat maps when it comes to perfume, then put a lotion that has a complementary scent to the perfume you want to spray on top. Put the lotion, then you're gonna put the perfume, and then a bonus, you could put a mist or a hair mist if you got hair, in order to create this signature layered scent trail. And another thing you need to understand is that perfume molecules bind better to moisturized skin. So if you are spraying in these areas and they're dry and they're patchy, they have nothing to stick to. That's why at 1 p.m., maybe you sprayed at 9 a.m., by 1 p.m., you're like, I don't smell myself again. It's because you did not do strategic layering when it comes to perfume. The other pro tip here is that if you spray in the morning, make sure you carry around a small roller of your signature scent and apply it back in those areas. Again, maybe you can re-moisturize those areas because throughout the day your skin needs to be consistently moisturized, and then apply with the roller of the perfume. Micro feminine grooming tip number 3 is the forgotten zone. So we just talked about strategic layering, right, with perfumes and moisturizing, but another added bonus is a lot of times when you are moisturizing, you're forgetting specific areas. So I'm going to show you specific areas is behind your ear. A lot of people are asked you there, okay? And when you're having intimate conversations, or you're someone like me with a short haircut, or you're consistently putting your hair behind your ear, that is a zone that a lot of people forget. Another zone that a lot of people forget is the elbows, okay? Too many of y'all are walking around with ashy elbows. So please remember, there are creases in your elbows. That's why it's so important to remember this area. The last area, which is a subtle area that a lot of people don't think about, is between your hands. A lot of people forget to moisturize these areas, and it's as simple as just doing this. The reason why these places are so needed to be moisturized is because when you are having intimate conversations, when you're getting close to people, when you're doing handshakes, all these areas when people are handshaking you and they're feeling some ashiness, they're like, what's going on? So remember to moisturize these areas. Something else you can do, again, because I realize that not everybody has oily skin, is make sure you carry around a small moisturizer, small lotion in your purse just for those areas. And another area too that is a forgotten zone is even behind your feet, so your ankle, specifically your heel area, right? Your heel and your ankle area. A lot of times, especially during the summer, I'm like walking behind someone, I'm like, ooh, you forgot that area. You forgot to moisturize. So again, it seems my subtle and you're like, oh, I moisturize my whole body, but just take extra tender care in these specific areas. Micro grooming tip number 4 is the handbag mirror check. There's specific parts of your face when you do your makeup that easily smudge, they can smear, they can slide, you get oily. And these are the areas that you should check throughout the day. Don't overdo it now. Once or twice throughout the day when you apply makeup, just to make sure these places are airtight. These specific areas are the outer corner of your eye, your lipstick area, and your hairline. When you are actually just doing a quick check, sometimes you go to the bathroom, because I know not all of us are carrying around a cute little hand mirror, but that's ideal that you have a hand mirror that you can quickly just do a quick check, and literally you're looking at the corner of your eye, lipstick area, and then you're also looking at your hairline and making sure that everything is put together. And a quick way you can quickly fix all these areas if it starts to smudge is you could just take a tissue and then lightly just pat that area, pat it underneath your eye, and a lot of times it will take away the smudge and the smear. Same thing with lipstick. You can take the tissue, go like that, and it normally reassess your lipstick, right? And also carry a lip liner. Sometimes I have an emergency, especially because I love wearing red lipstick. But the thing about red lipstick is it's a little tricky. So red lipstick is very, especially when you eat a burger or you eat something that takes your whole mouth, and it quickly smudges all over the place. So for me, I always have a lip liner just so I can quickly put back my lipstick in place, right? So the red lipstick stays where it needs to be. And then lastly, with the hairline, now obviously I don't have hair, but when I used to have hair, you have those baby hairs, those flyaways, and then they kind of get all over the place. You can just literally take a little bit of water. You don't even need to bring home hairspray, hair oil. You don't gotta do all that. If you extra and you want to carry around mold or gel, please, by all means. But if you're like, I don't feel like carrying an extra thing in my purse, just take a little bit of water and just tap those areas back into place, those baby hairs, those flyaways, and they will stay down. And again, you can even just time it like, okay, it's 3 o'clock, time to do a quick 3-point test, and then you check those 3 areas. The next micro grooming tip is the movement map. This is very important because I feel like, especially as women, and we are celebrating body positivity in different shapes, and clothes do not all come for different shapes, right? A lot of times I feel like women are stuffing themselves in clothes that don't move well, right? They don't make you look graceful. I know for me, I'm 36 years old, so I'm at the point where I'm very clear. This works for me. This shape doesn't work for me. This doesn't. And even if I take something that I have to adjust, I actually move within my body to check to see, is there any issues? So perfect example, let's say you're wearing an outfit that you can't wear bra. Look to see how this moves down here, right? And if it's shaking too much and the shape of it in your shirt does not look good, then that is a time to get some fashion tape, some boob tape, just to make sure the girls are sitting up right and they're in the right position. That is really key. Another thing is even like, when you buy a shirt, right? Sometimes those 2 buttons here are like gasping for air, and it's very obvious it's tight. When you're moving and it's tight, it's slightly coming out, or you literally see a slit, that means that shirt is not right. And it's better for you to actually go up a size and get it tailored versus you struggling to wear that specific shirt. Also, another thing is skirts, right? So especially when you're wearing a pencil skirt or any type of skirt that has a slit, make sure the slit is in the right position. I have seen cases where a woman gets a skirt and the slit goes pretty much all the way up to her butt. Okay, it's not in the right position. Ideally, if you get a skirt like that, it should be right between your calves. When you move and walk up and down, it looks very graceful that way. If it's in any other location, it's gonna look off. And then lastly, look at your clothes that you wear from a day to day and see if there's any natural creases. There's any areas where you're like, you know what, whenever I wear this, it doesn't really flow well. Actually, a perfect recent example of this is YouTuber Janae Naylor. She talked about this mango dress that she got because she wanted to be in the bohemian theme. She loved it. She said that when she looked at pictures, she noticed it was crinkling throughout the day and that even herself, she was consistently like tugging at it. So if you buy something and you move around, like literally if you're in the store and you buy it or you're about to buy something, sometimes put it on and walk around and see, is it creasing? How does it move? A lot of times I don't buy certain things because I actually notice, oh, this thing's gonna crease easily, or this is gonna be difficult to wear. This is not gonna make me look graceful. So this is a very important tip, which is the movement map. The next grooming micro tip is the 3-point posture. So when you are sitting, I'm going to demonstrate it for you in real time so you can see. So there is literally going to be a triangle between your shoulders and kind of your lower back. If you think about it, it's like this, right? So your shoulders and then to the small of your back like this. So literally the small of your back, right? Back here, there is literally a triangle that is being formed. And it's so important when you are sitting. It's almost like you should feel a little pinch in your back. When you feel that pinch, that's how you know you're sitting up properly. If you're like this, you're not, the triangle is gone. It's actually like loose, okay? And you actually see the difference. Like I'm relaxed, I'm speaking with you, but my posture is not where it needs to be. Especially when you're out and about, you're doing an interview, you're at work, you're presenting, you know, whatever it may be, always check your posture. And again, remember it's like a triangle and there should be like a little pinch in your back. And as you notice, even your clothes fall differently when you do this. If you're like, I don't know how to feel the pinch in my back, I'm not really sure I'm sitting up properly, the best way to test this is actually to lean up against the wall. So I was in a lot of sports, and so a lot of my sports require me to do literally the wall test where I sit my back against the wall. And when you do that, you don't want to like put your whole body on the wall. You actually want to toot your butt up a little bit, and it should be like your shoulder touching the back of your wall. That's how you know your posture where it needs to be. Pro tip for you with this is that throughout the day, check your posture. I know for me, it's very easy, especially at your desk and you're just like in it, and all of a sudden you lose your posture, you know, you're slouching, and it's not good for your bones and your back, right? Throughout the day, just make sure you like, oh, let me get it together, right? And you see the difference. Whoop. Right? This is a 3-point posture check. The next micro tip is thread management. Now, all of us wear clothes where there are threads, right? There's sweaters, it could be a shirt, whatever it is. Throughout the time that you have a certain piece of clothes, make sure you check the threads around the wrist. Look at the collar. Look at the bottom of the t-shirt, right? Or pants, whatever it may be. Instead of pulling at it, you can literally just do a little snip, and a lot of times that takes care of it. Another layer of this is even like sometimes people have like these type of materials where there needs to be like a little bit of shedding. Literally, you could go on Amazon. I'll put the link in my description. It literally pulls the thread, right? It's almost like a shaver, and it shaves it down, and it actually like revitalizes a clothing look that looks funny because the thread and everything has been pulling. And the reason why this is so important is because when you start to have loose threads, it makes something that might have been expensive look cheap. And so it's really important that everything is clean and pristine, and you're just consistently doing that. And I just call it thread management. So from time to time, you know, maybe you're doing your spring cleaning, your winter cleaning. You know, a lot of times when you're changing clothes during the season, that's a great time to look through all your pieces and look at the threading, and also ask yourself, maybe did I buy this and it wasn't really a good investment, and you know, give it away, right? And sometimes, like I said, it just requires a simple snip and it's gonna look good and back in place. The next feminine micro grooming tip is eyebrow framing. People underestimate the eyebrows. When I tell you eyebrows set up your whole face, it changes how you look. It changes how you look and appear, and you just look happier and more youthful when your eyebrows are framed right. But here is the key thing. A lot of times people don't realize, and this happens to me, is that right here with your eyebrows, check to make sure the outer part is actually laying down. A lot of times people's eyebrows like this, you see, versus just a simple swipe. Make sure that your eyebrows eyebrows and where it needs to be. And a lot of times you can use like a brush spoolie and just put it in place. A lot of times I'm not even outlining my eyebrows. I'm not lining them. I'm not doing anything to them because I have good genetics, but also I actually did brow grooming, right? Every like few weeks I do some type of brow lamination, and that helps keep my brows in place. But you're like, look, I don't got the money for that. The cheapest way to get your eyebrows framed properly is actually just using a brush spoolie and making sure that the hair is brushed up. And when you are lining it, you brush it up, and then you just also brush it to the side, and you pay attention to the corner of your eyebrow. I think it's so important. It frames your face when you're doing your makeup. It frames your makeup, and it really just sets everything in place. And a lot of times people just like draw a line over it, or they just brush here. They don't really take care of the outer edges of their eyebrows. The next feminine micro grooming habit is jewelry. Making sure your jewelry is clean and it is shining. A lot of people don't do this. Even if your jewelry is costume jewelry, all jewelry should be shining. It should not be dull. Again, when your jewelry looks dull, it's very apparent and it doesn't look good and it does not make you look polished. Actually, there's 3 ways around this. The cheapest way is honestly a lot of times just getting a wipe just to wipe your jewelry. Especially if it's costume jewelry, you don't gotta invest in much in it. From time to time, just make sure that your jewelry is right, so that it is shining and it does not look dull. The second layer of this is you can get a spray. Again, this is something you can get on Amazon. I will leave down a recommendation in the YouTube description. You can just literally spray it and use a tissue, again, something light, a light fiber, and you can just quickly wipe the jewelry, right, to make sure that it looks good. Also, bonus tip is you can use a toothbrush and get into those crevices. A lot of times people don't, there's like little corners and crevices people don't get into when it comes to their jewelry. You can use a toothbrush and get into those areas. The last one, which is like the game changer for me, especially with my wedding band, was actually getting a retainer. And funny enough, I learned this from a guy friend, which is actually interesting. So I got and it was like $30. It wasn't that expensive, but it was retainer cleaner. And what you could do is there's these like retainer tablets, and it's almost like fizzy and it like dissolves in the water. Put all your jewelry in there, you press the button, in 30 seconds, everything is shining. I love doing this for my jewelry. This was the game changer. I was like, oh my God, I did not know that I can do that. Literally every few weeks, I was going into the jewelry store and I was actually getting my jewelry professionally clean. And then I learned this tip. I was like, oh, I could do this at home for cheap. It's not that expensive. Get you that retainer cleaner, and trust me, it's going to be a game changer when it comes to your jewelry. And again, it's going to make you look more polished, especially if you're someone like me that consistently wears studs. These are very important just to make sure that you're consistently cleaning your jewelry. Now, the teeth reset. This is really important because a lot of times in the morning, you brush your teeth, you keep it pushing, but a lot of you guys are drinking your Starbucks coffee or whatever coffee you're drinking, and your teeth are getting stained throughout the day. So a quick way to reset this, and I call this the 4 p.m. teeth reset, you can use a silk tissue and literally just rub those areas in your teeth. A silk tissue, because it's gentle enough that it's not going to be abrasive to your teeth, and it's going to quietly remove those stains. You can also literally go to the bathroom, use water, and rinse your teeth as well, because again, a lot of people don't realize when you're drinking coffee, when you're drinking wine, anything colored, all of that is staining your teeth. And so you can actually just take a silk tissue and gently rub your teeth and make sure that it's like actually reset. And another thing as well that people don't realize is that even, again, I wear a lot of red lipstick. The unfortunate downside of red lipstick is stains. Sometimes like you're talking, you don't even realize that it got into your teeth, or you're eating something, you didn't realize that your lipstick got on your teeth. Throughout the day, go to the bathroom and quickly check, did they transfer to my teeth? And again, you can use a silk tissue to gently rub it, because sometimes even when you use water, it's not like strong enough to actually take the stain away. And this will just help you make sure your teeth is nice and white again. And the last feminine micro grooming tip, and it's probably super important for 2 reasons, which is your nail beds, right? Making sure that your nail beds are looking healthy, okay? Now, I need to go do my nails, but what's really important about this is that making sure that your cuticles are always done. Like, even though I need to go do my nails, like, I don't know if you can see this really, but it looks clean. I don't have any cuticles out of place. Everything is looking nice and moisturized. And I think a lot of times people take for granted your nail bed health is super important. And especially, for women who are consistently wearing acrylics or consistently doing dips, things that are like heavy on your nails. When you take all that off, actually check your nail bed. Make sure it's healthy. Make sure it's oxygenated. If it has like these white swirls all over your nails, that means your nail bed is damaged. If it has yellow, green, that's fungus, right? If it doesn't look, flat, right? That means something is going on. And I know for me, I remember like last year, funny enough, I was traveling, I was in London, and the woman was like, oh my God, your nail beds are like really damaged and they need a break. So I did not put anything on my nails for 4 months. And even now, I'm really, really careful of what I put on my nails. Actually, I haven't put acrylics back on my nails since then because of that. So be careful. Make sure you look at your nail beds because, again, you're consistently talking to your hands. You're shaking people. People are consistently seeing your hand. And so if your nail bed's not healthy, you don't look healthy and you don't look polished. I think this is really, really important. That's why I even put it at the end so that all y'all who are staying get this bonus tip, okay? Now, all these micro habits may have seemed excessive, but it literally is the difference between good grooming to exceptional grooming to an amazing presence. And you don't understand that these are all subtle enough, but when you combine it all together, you're gonna really see the difference of how people perceive you, and you're gonna feel more attractive, and you're just gonna feel more polished overall. And the thing about grooming is it's about being intentional with these small details. When you are intentional, people feel it and you feel it too. Now, of course, make sure you like and comment and subscribe to my channel. I really enjoy always connecting with you. And if you're enjoying this video, then you're gonna enjoy my 10 micro habits, right, to be a feminine woman. And you can click this video up here for it.